for the fans. The glory for the pinstripes.
The box score won't show it, but there's a critical flaw in the Yankees offense that could cost us our championship dreams. The front office has identified the problem, and the solution they are considering will surprise everyone. If you want to understand this hidden threat and the move that could follow, subscribe to the channel right now. Let's get straight to it, because in baseball, the cruelest truth is that reputation doesn't score runs. Production does. A player can walk in with accolades, trophies, and a highlight reel that could fill an evening's broadcast. But if the results vanish when the season grinds into its humid dog days, the love affair in the Bronx tends to cool off faster than an October night at Yankee Stadium. It's a dangerous game of expectation versus reality, and this year the Yankees have been quietly pondering a move that might shock those still clinging to opening day optimism. When the Yankees signed Paul Goldschmidt last winter, the city was buzzing like they just found a golden ticket to October. Here was a former MVP, steady at the plate, sharp in the field, and the exact veteran presence to settle first base. For the first few weeks of the season, he looked like the guy who could still carry a lineup, spraying hits, working counts, and making it look easy. By the end of May, his .333 batting average wasn't just impressive, it was proof that the gamble had paid off. But as the calendar flipped and the heat turned up, something shifted, and the conversation around him began to change. Now, with a slash line of .281 to .337, .429, Goldschmidt's season has become a tale of two halves. 10 home runs and 40 RBIs aren't bad numbers, but in the Bronx, not bad can feel a lot like not enough. The Yankees didn't bring him in just for stability. They wanted a middle-of-the-order anchor who could keep the offense alive when the bats around him went cold. His glove has remained reliable, but that alone can't carry the weight of World Series expectations. And behind the scenes, the front office has been quietly sketching out a different vision for the position. The plan was always a cautious one: a one-year deal, a veteran stopgap, a potential postseason X-factor. But the midseason slump has revealed a harsher story, stretches where his bat has disappeared, and in crucial games against division rivals, he's looked more like a passenger than a driver. This isn't a personal shot, it's a cold, calculated assessment of return on investment. Which brings us to the elephant in the room, or rather the top prospect down in Scranton Wilkes Barre. Sources are telling me Spencer Jones's name has been coming up with increasing frequency in front office meetings. Not as an afterthought, but as a viable solution. The kid is tearing the cover off the ball in AAA and his numbers don't lie. We're talking about power that plays in any ballpark and a plate discipline that belies his age. The front office always knew Jones was the future, but the question was always when. Goldschmidt's slump may have just drastically accelerated that timeline. So what's really going on with Paul Goldschmidt? To understand the front office's hesitation, we need to dig deeper than the basic slash line. A closer look reveals some troubling trends. His swing and miss rate on pitches outside the strike zone is up nearly 15% since June. This suggests pitchers are challenging him less in the zone and are instead exploiting his aggressiveness. He's chasing more bad pitches, leading to weak contact and easy outs. Furthermore, his average exit velocity, which was among the league's best in April and May, has dropped significantly. Balls that were rocketing off his bat are now dying on the warning track or becoming routine grounders for infielders. That's not just bad luck. It's an indicator that something in his mechanics or timing is off. Is age catching up to him? Is the grind of a 162-game season taking its toll earlier than expected? These are the multi-million-dollar questions that Brian Cashman and his staff are debating right now. On the other side of that coin, you have Spencer Jones in Scranton. He's not just a hot prospect, he represents a philosophical shift. With an OPS over 900 in AAA and a home run rate that puts him among the minor league elite, he is the personification of the modern Yankee offensive approach. Power, patience, and athleticism. My contacts in the organization speak of a maturity beyond his years and ability to make adjustments from one at-bat to the next that many veterans struggle to master. The internal debate, as I understand it, isn't whether Jones is ready, but what the risk is of disrupting the clubhouse by sitting a respected veteran like Goldschmidt. Club dynamics are a fragile thing, especially in August when tensions are high and every game feels like a final. Calling up Jones now would be a bold statement. It would signal that immediate production trumps reputation and track record. It's a high-risk, high-reward gamble. If Jones comes up and rakes, Cashman looks like a genius, having injected new life into the team at the perfect moment. If he struggles, the move could be seen as a panic move that destabilized the veteran and yielded no fruit. A distraction the Bronx Bombers can't afford as they chase the pennant. It's a complex calculation, where data analytics collides with the human element of the game. Every ground out from Goldschmidt is another data point in favor of Jones. And with each passing day, the pressure to make a change mounts. Let's zoom out, because this decision at first base doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's intrinsically linked to the entire landscape of the Yankees' 2025 season and this franchise's relentless pursuit of a 28th World Series title. Think about the ripple effect. With Aaron Judge and Juan Soto forming one of the most fearsome duos in baseball, the production from the hitter behind them is absolutely critical. When Goldschmidt is on his game, he provides protection, forcing pitches to challenge Judge and Soto. When he's struggling, as he has been, that protection evaporates. Teams can pitch around the two big sluggers with more confidence, knowing the chances of getting burned by the next guy are lower. That puts immense pressure on the rest of the lineup, asking guys like Gleyber Torres and Anthony Volpe to consistently produce at a level that may not be sustainable. This is the brutal reality of championship-level team building. The weakest link can determine your ceiling. The evil Empire moniker didn't come about because the Yankees are sentimental. It arose because the organization has historically made cold, calculating decisions in the pursuit of winning. They trade hometown heroes, let fan-favorite free agents walk, and bench veterans if they believe it gives them a 1% edge in the hunt for a ring. Benching Paul Goldschmidt would fit that modus operandi perfectly. It would be unpopular with some, maybe even uncomfortable in the clubhouse for a bit. But if the front office's analytics say that Spencer Jones gives them a better chance to win in October, then history tells us they won't hesitate to pull the trigger. There's also the financial aspect. Goldschmidt's one-year deal was a bridge, not a long-term commitment. The future of first base was always an open question, and Jones is the cheapest, highest upside internal option. Giving him a taste of the majors now in the heat of a pennant race is also an audition for 2026. The front office gets to evaluate how he handles the pressure of the Bronx, how he adjusts to MLB pitching, and whether he truly is the long-term answer. So this isn't just a reaction to a 2-month slump. It's a strategic gambit with implications for the immediate present and the foreseeable future. It's the kind of multi-layered decision that defines a general manager's legacy. For us, the bleacher creatures, and the entire Yanks nation, it's a reminder that in the pinstripes, the only thing that matters is winning the last game of the season. So we arrive at the bottom line. The Paul Goldschmidt situation is the perfect microcosm of the dilemma the New York Yankees face every single year. The balance between loyalty to a proven veteran and the ruthless need to optimize every single roster spot for a title run. On one hand, you have a future Hall of Famer, a former MVP who started the season on fire and whose postseason experience is invaluable. The logic says that players of his caliber know how to break out of a slump, and that their best baseball could be just one swing away, ready to re-emerge in October when it matters most. The safe bet, the path of least resistance, is to stay the course, show confidence in your veteran, and hope that class prevails. On the other hand, the recent production tells a different and worrying story. The numbers don't lie, the decline is real, and opponents have adjusted. Meanwhile, a young talent like Spencer Jones is banging on the door with a force that can't be ignored, representing not just a potential upgrade on offense, but the future of the franchise at the position. The decision to promote him now would be the epitome of the evil empire philosophy. An aggressive, merciless pursuit of excellence, regardless of sentiment or reputation. It would be a declaration that current performance trumps past resumes, and that the Yankees are willing to risk short-term chemistry for the ultimate glory. There is no easy answer here. Sticking with Goldschmidt and watching him continue to struggle down the stretch could cost the Yankees home field advantage, or worse, a playoff series. Promoting Jones and watching him get overwhelmed by the big stage could yield the same result, with the added downside of potentially shaking the confidence of both a key veteran and a top prospect. The final analysis is this: the Yankees front office didn't bring in Paul Goldschmidt to be a decent regular season player. They brought him in to be a force in October. His current slump puts that entire premise in jeopardy. The question they have to answer is whether the chance of Goldschmidt rediscovering his MVP form outweighs the chance of Spencer Jones being an immediate, game-changing spark. Now, I turn it over to you, Yanks Nation, the fans who live and breathe every single pitch. Putting emotion aside and thinking like a GM, what do? Do you keep the faith in the proven veteran, hoping he gets hot for the postseason, or do you make the bold move and hand the keys to first base to the kid who's tearing up the minor leagues? Drop your comments below. I want to hear your arguments. For daily updates and in-depth analysis just like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. We're tracking this situation closely, and you'll be the first to know what's happening behind the scenes in the Bronx.